Right, well, we're going to be looking at whether the language of academia and the arts creates a barrier between the artist and their audience. And thank you to Steph for this question because it's a really good one, really interesting. And within this presentation, I sort of curated quite a lot of information. I couldn't just find 2 TED Talks here because it's a very complex question. We have to look at what the language of academia might be, what the language of the arts might be, and also what kind of audiences we might be considering. So we'll begin by looking at the language of the arts. And what is this? Is it actually something that could be a barrier? Well, the State University of New York actually offer an introductory course which is designed to familiarise the viewer of art with the means to understand it. So that implies a couple of things. I think one of the things it would imply is that people want to know how to understand the language of the arts, but it certainly perhaps implies that it is a barrier to certain types of knowledge. It might suggest it has some value too. So let's look at, just very quickly, at something that's a parody, something that we often think about when we think about artist statements. And I'm going to generate an artist statement here. And this statement here suggests that wavering derivatives become transformed through boundaried and repetitive practice, and the viewer is left with a clue to the inaccuracies of our culture. You can play on this for hours. It's obviously sort of taking particular vocabulary and jamming it together in a sort of strange way that doesn't make a great deal of sense. So my work explores the relationship between postmodern discourse and football chants. So please go and have a look at that and have a play with that. But does that necessarily imply that the language of the arts is just rubbish? Or is there some sort of joy to it as well? And to explore that further, we're going to look at this idea of art speak or international art English. And we'll begin by looking at what Grayson Perry says about international art English.